And welcome into the Varsity Voices podcast presented by C Spire. It's our fourth quarter episode this week. Put the fours up as we're getting ready to talk playoffs, as we got one final classification to look at. I'm your host, Brett Riley, voice of the Kosciuszko Whippets. We have Brandon Davis with us, the voice of the Warren Central Vikings, and Jared Schatz, voice of the Germantown Mavericks. This segment is built by Cherokee Brick, America's most trusted brick supplier. So, guys, we're talking 1A football, Ironman football. We love it. It's a fun game to watch, fun games to call, and we got some good ones to talk about. Starting in the North, Biggersville, no problems with West Lowndes. It was a 52-22 win there. Okolona with the win over Faulkner. The Chieftains,
baby, one of my favorite.
Moving on to take on Biggersville, and of course the favorite Calhoun City, no problem with Tupelo Christian. That was a 53-14 win, and Leflore County all over Byers, 54-6. And guys, so what do you think about 1A North? This is a classification kind of similar with 5A and 2A. It's all roads leading to Calhoun City, basically, and that's what we think, Jared.
It's what we think, but Biggersville 11-1, playing some really good football right now, guys. They've almost scored 500 points this year. They've only given up 169, so they're very balanced football team, very complimentary football team on both sides of the football. But yeah, I mean, you go through the bracket here, the Chieftains are going to have their hands full, but man, they still have the best mascot name in my opinion. I love it. The Okolona Chieftains is kind of how you feel about the Bogachita Bobcats. I love the Okolona Chieftains. That is awesome. But yeah, Calhoun City rolling, destroyed Tupelo Christian. Leflore County, I mean, they had a big blowout win. They've had a couple blowout wins. They beat Vardaman in the first round. In the second round, they took out Byers. So we'll see, what Leflore County can offer up to Calhoun City.
Yeah, and Brandon Davis, I know you're big on Biggersville. The Lions are our pal Zay Mays up there.
Hey, man, Zay Mays, Mr. 1A football, and you talked about the Iron Man, and he does a little bit of everything but drive the bus. And I like Biggersville making their way down into North State, and then Calhoun City has been the team that we've been harping on all year. But don't sleep on Leflore County. Eric House has experience getting this team to the state title. I believe it was back in 21-22 that they played for a state title there, and they played a tough schedule, relatively speaking, for their non-region. They played Simmons. They also played Northside. They played at South Delta, who knocked out our dear friend the Ethel Tigers and Junior Graham. So they've played a good schedule, and Schatz mentioned it. They are just blowing teams out. They Vardaman 44-8, and then they beat Byers 54-6. So, they're only giving up 7 points a ball game here early in the playoffs. So, it could be interesting to see what happens with Calhoun City. The only thing for Leflore, they have to go up to Calhoun City. So, but I do really like Biggersville in 1A North.
Jumping down to the south, the game of the week this past week, probably Nanawaya and Lumberton. That was, it says 42-28, but I know that one was way closer than the score. Nanawaya was able to pull away late, but I know it was a back and forth affair. And so that was a big ball game. Simmons, little issues taking out Stringer 30-14, and Leake County took out the Bogachita Bobcats, as we like to say over and over again, the Bogachita Bobcats. Luke County 36-8, and Taylorsville eliminated South Delta 45-8. And so Brandon Davis in the South, what stood out for you? I know me and you were the only ones that took Leake County in the pick'em.
Well, we took Leake County. That was one, but what surprised me was Simmons taking care of Stringer the way they did, 30-14. Dan Brady's bunch, the Red Devils, another great name. With Jaheim Campbell, one of the top backs in the state that a lot of people aren't talking about, more of a fullback, a bigger bodied back, almost 2,000 yards on the season. Beating them 30-14 was kind of a surprise. But Simmons, man, that is a machine. Just in 1A, it's just a machine. Jarvis Williams, his first year as the head coach. Derek Hooker was there from 2022 to 2024. He won 34 ball games. And it's kind of crazy that you have things so well established up there that you can put a first-year coach in there in that system, and he's 10-0. So they're a machine. That Nanawaya game, you're talking about two different styles. the country meets the city. The old boys from out in the country meeting the big city of Hollandale, if that makes any sense. So that's going to be a fun one. Leake County down there beating Bogachita. We kind of knew Brecken. I kind of understood that. But Taylorsville, the hottest team, I think, in the state since they went, was it 0-4, something along those lines?
0-4, right?
They have been on a tear, beating South Delta 48-6. To me, depending on the top three, Nanawaya, Simmons, and then Taylorsville, Leake County, they're good too. But any of those four could make it to Starkville, and there's a lot of parity on the south side.
Yeah, I agree. And Jared, what are your thoughts about 1A South?
Nanawaya Simmons will be a barn burner. Simmons only giving up 7 points a ball game. I don't think their schedule is as tough as Nanawaya, but I do think that's a football team that it's in their DNA. It seems like they make it, at least to South State. I know they've kind of gone north and South State, but they make it to South State just about every year. That's a really good football team, and they've had several coaches come through there, like Brandon said. The foundation's there, man, and just to pick it up and run with it, go undefeated 10-0, that is going to be a tremendous matchup against Nanawaya. Taylorsville, man, I would not want to play them after that 0-4 start. That was not a bad South Delta team. They whipped 46-8. That was not a bad football team. Bogachita was not a bad team. Leake County ran through them. That is going to be a great matchup between the Leake County and the Tartars. I mean, that is going to be a tremendous matchup. It's Calhoun City to me, but I want to see how this LaFleur County game goes in the north to figure out who I think I'm going to back as far as the best chances to win. But the computer models are pretty interesting.
Yeah, and you were talking about Simmons and, them kind of having that pedigree. I mean, their logo is the Superman symbol, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so come on now. You got a lot to live up to if you're rocking the Man of Steel there. But, yeah, we will take a look at the computer model from Jake Wimberly. And, just to refresh your memory, this is a percentage to win the championship. It's not a percentage to win the game this week. So this is what the computer model thinks, that these teams have the best chances to win the title, the overall championship. And that would be Calhoun City up at the top, 48.72%. That's not shocking. And then you got Simmons coming in at number 2 with 23.45%. And then it big drop off down to Biggersville at 12.8, Taylorsville at 7.89, and you have Nanawaya rounding out the top 5 at 3.67. LaFleur County, Leake County, and Okolona rounding out the bottom 3 there. And so, guys, what stands out to you? Jared, I know you like Okolona, but they're kind of 0.63.
Hey man, don't count out the Chieftains, brother. I mean, they're the fighting Chieftains, all right. But when I look at the numbers, kind of surprised. It's like the computers like us with Taylorsville, kind of creeping them up. Like, y'all better watch out. They're ahead of Nanawaya, kind of surprising. Biggersville is, I think it's really Taylorsville and Biggersville that are really the two teams that, if they can somehow get a win this week, I do think one of those teams can challenge Calhoun City if everything plays out like we think. And Simmons as well. I mean, but I think Simmons is a team that, trying to pull up their schedule wouldn't pull up for me, but I don't think they've been as battle tested, but it doesn't seem like it ever matters for those guys. They just roll right through it and always seem to make a state championship, if not every year, every other year.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's one of those things. They just know how to win over there in the Delta. So no matter what that they've had going on in the regular season, once the playoff starts, as you said a couple of times, Jared, there's always a few teams where it just kind of clicks. And Simmons is one of those teams each and every year. Brandon, what stands out to you about the numbers?
Taylorsville. I think Taylorsville is going to be higher when it all shakes out. Let me give you some stats. They went 0-4 to start the season, lost to Miles Bay Springs, Raleigh, Heidelberg. That is nothing to shake a stick at. But they didn't lose to these teams. They got blown out by these teams. And then the 26th of September, they played North Forest. They won 13-0. And since then, they have been on a roll. Let me give you this number. Since beating North Forest 13-0, and the 2 playoff wins they've had so far, they're only yielding 7.5 points a ball game defensively. They are stout. And I don't know what Adrian Agee did and what he said, but he needs to bottle it up and sell it with like Steve Sizemore does with the Sizemore sauce. Just fantastic stuff. Yes, thank you, sir. Right on spot. Taylorsville's dangerous, guys. Don't overlook them. I know people like Simmons and Nanawaya, but I like Taylorsville, and they're playing great ball. And you said it, Shots. They beat a very, very good South Delta team 46-8 last Friday night.
Speaking of guys, which going to Simmons' schedule, they whipped South Delta as well, 37-8. They got a win over Noxapater and Stringer in the playoffs. So, yeah, their schedule not shabby either. Simmons, man, any of these teams could win it. I mean, they really all have been battle-tested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the South this week in 1A for some competitive games. I mean, NY and Simmons, as Brandon mentioned, that's going to be a great one. In Leake County and Taylorsville, is Taylorsville, and Leake County's got all kinds of athletes there. They, as I said, didn't have any issues with Bogachita. So I think the South this week is going to be maybe the best, games out of 1A classification. Well, that does indeed wrap up our look at the playoffs through 1A through 7A. This game's going to be this Friday, and calling for some rain in the area, but that's just going to make it a fun, playoff type, fun atmosphere in this time of year. Get your Guns N' Roses in for the November rain.
Yes.
And be ready to go, whether you have a long road trip or whether you're playing at home. Jared Schatz has a trip. He's got to go on the road. Jake Wimberly's got to go on the road. Me and Davis get to stay at home. We get to stay at home this week for our ball game. So that's a nice one, but that's a look at the playoffs. And when we come back, we are going to talk about the whiteboard. We've done all the work. Now we get to be a little bit laid back a little bit and talk about the whiteboard, because we'll step aside for a break here on the Varsity Voices podcast presented by C Spire.
At Fowler GMC, our customers have been our priority for over 70 years. That same dedication happens today as we offer a wide range of options to cater to every taste and budget. Whether you're looking for a luxurious and versatile SUV or a powerful truck, we have it all. Our knowledgeable team is here to assist you every step of the way, and we are committed to providing fast and courteous service. Visit us today and experience the difference for yourself. Trust, service, and selection. Fowler GMC.
3rd and 6 from the 40-yard line.
Sure you're ready for this?
He takes a snap, drops back.
What's the right situation for a flea flicker?
They should have been in nickel defense. In
There's a nickel and a dime?
Now for a proper bull rush start in 3-point stance.
What a disastrous play call.
Ready or not, here we go.
Hey, Dad.
You can call me Coach.
It's amazing what C Spire's nationwide 5G network can connect. C Spire, inspired by you.
Elegance is in the details. Pine Straw America's premium longleaf pine straw subscription ensures your landscape stays pristine season after season. Precision edging, flawless installation, because your home deserves nothing less. Pine Straw America.
And welcome back into the Varsity Voices podcast presented by C Spire. It is time for your favorite segment of the week. And we know it's your favorite because you tell us it's your favorite. You call. I got phone calls this week. We listened to last week about green bean casserole going to Kosciuszko's game in Itawamba. We had it on, and we had a whole talk about it on the road up there, green bean casserole,
and they agreed with Davis and I.
They definitely did not agree.
That's a lot
with Davis and I say this: I'm making a batch for the Ethel volleyball. Ethel volleyball made it to the state championship. They ended up, falling in the championship, but they're having a banquet to, celebrate the team. Got asked to make my green bean casserole, so I'm doing that next Saturday, and gonna take care of those gals there. And I think they're doing steaks and baked potato. They're doing big things. So they wanted some good green bean casserole. So yeah,
no such thing.
We'll find out. Davis has to eat some at the championships coming up.
But congratulations, though, to those ladies from Ethel having this banquet. I know they played very hard. They fell a little short there in the playoffs, but you shouldn't feed them green bean casserole. I know they were a little short. They requested. No, they didn't.
They requested. I got the receipts, man. Yeah, I got the texts, homie.
And the only reason the clowns in your car agreed with what you were saying about green bean casserole because you were driving, and they would have had to walk back to Kosciuszko. Let's just go ahead and get that out there too.
They said. Well, I will say they said that it's not their favorite, but they don't hate it. So yeah, that was
the truth's starting to come out.
That was it. That was it. Not their favorite, but they don't hate it.
Letting you down easy.
There you go. So we talked about that. But this week, we're going to continue with the whiteboard, see what's on in our Environment Masters studio. Hassle-free plumbing, electrical, and AC. Visit them at environmentmasters.com. Before we get to the whiteboard, I'm going to get mine for this week. I don't know if I've shown these yet in the studio. From when I was at the Gator Bowl in 2012. And I was in charge of the manuals, putting together for the band and the cheerleaders for when their teams came down. It's got like a timeline, like what they're supposed to do. It's got maps in here of like, hey, this is where you're supposed to go. This is where all this other stuff. So I'm not sure I was supposed to take these.
Pretty cool.
But I did.
Nobody will ever know.
No. They don't need them, right? I mean, it's just for one game.
You tell them that.
Yeah. It's just
but you know what's amazing about that, Breck, is people do not realize what goes into an event like that.
Oh,
man. The logistics, the foundation of organization. And it's the same with our state championships, just our broadcast alone. Even this podcast, man, there's a lot of work behind the scenes to pull off something, obviously like this, but especially something like that where, several thousand people are going to come, and you've got transportation for two teams from hundreds of miles away, and it's pretty incredible what you were able to be a part of.
Yeah, it was fun. And the only issue was Mississippi State came and they got their butts kicked, but that's where the Northwestern hat came from. That's what Pat Fitzgerald gave all the interns these hats, and this helmet right here is the one that came from the Gator Bowl as well. And so, yeah, that's in my studio this week. So now we'll turn it over to Brandon Davis for the whiteboard. See what he has for us.
Yeah, a lot of planning goes into mine as well. A lot of logistics, trying to figure it all out.
Flip a coin.
Yeah, flip a coin. Thank Environment Masters for being our sponsor of the whiteboard. A very fun session, and then we're continuing to be in the season of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving coming up in a few weeks. Hope that you all are able to celebrate that with family and friends and loved ones. Believe it or not, I am thankful to be a part of this podcast to entertain you clowns on a weekly basis, and to also be a part of it with these other whatever we want to call them. But so I thought
handsome young men.
Yeah, if that's what we want to call it. We're in trouble.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But being the whiteboard is in the season of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving being one of my favorite holidays. One, because we give thanks to everything that we have. We also eat. We also watch football, and we also sleep. Three of the things that I value the most in life: food, sleep, and football. In no particular order, but I wanted to talk about my favorite desserts that I think are the top desserts. I am looking forward to the fight. I got a bunch of hate mail, people telling me about green bean casserole is great. Shots and I are right. You clowns are wrong. Yeah, don't worry. I got good people in my corner. I ain't worried about you clowns. So what we did this week is the best desserts. This is likely to cause a fight. I'm also going to say something that's kind of controversial. I'm sure I'll get a reaction out of that, but this is my opinion. I don't care what anybody else thinks. Honorable mentions. Let's start with that. I like a good Italian cream cake. You know, it's kind of diverse. You can eat that with everything. A good Italian cream cake is great after you have your turkey and ham. Puts you to sleep on a sugar high. German chocolate is another one. You can tell I like coconut, so, you know, German chocolate's a good one. Something called Chocolate Delight. You guys ever had Chocolate Delight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Chocolate Delight. That's honorable mention's good. And
we call it Fat Man or Husband's Delight or Fat Man's Delight.
A lot of names for it. Many names for it. But it's very good. If anybody's interested, get up with me. I'll share a recipe and you can try it out for your Thanksgiving as well. And sweet potato pie, I've got to add that. That's honorable mentions. I get over to the best. And this is where the controversy kind of kicks in. At number 10, I have sweet potato casserole. And the controversy is this a dessert or is it a side?
It's a side.
No, it's not.
It's a dang side.
No, it's not.
Yes,
it is. It is a dessert.
No.
Depends on how it's prepared, right?
Sweet potato casserole has got to be sweet. It's got to have brown sugar and marshmallows.
I am not sitting around eating turkey and all the fixings and then, man, I can't wait to get my sweet potato casserole for dessert. No.
So you eat it as a side?
As a side.
So you mix the sweetness with the salty and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
You're a psychopath. You're just straight psychopath. Look, I get it, and that's why it's controversial.
You see how we got along for like 2 minutes, man, over green bean casserole. We had united, and now he is on the dark side.
I mean, just throw pans and throw stuff. No, it's a dessert, people.
I could go either way on this one.
We ain't talking to you.
No,
you like green bean casserole.
Side, man.
Yeah, what side are you on?
I'm drawing the line right here. Right here. You've got to pick a side.
What side are you on, Breck?
I don't, like I said, it depends on how it's prepared, right? I mean, if you got like the whipped cream.
I see what he's saying, but you still got to pick a side.
Yes.
And the stuff on
all the stuff on top of it, the marshmallows.
It how it's prepared.
See, I don't do all that. I don't.
See, like
what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I mean, I will do the pecans and stuff, but I'm not putting whipped cream and doopty-doodah on it and saying here's a pie. You know what I mean? It's not.
It depends on how it's
prepared, you can make a dessert overly dessert. It's not like that.
Okay.
It's not like that.
Is it kind of like corn? Because some cornbread you eat is like sweet cornbread, right? And sometimes
that's a slap in the face.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? There's sweet cornbread, and then there's like regular cornbread.
Jalapeno cornbread is the best.
Now I give you that, and I give you that. Now we're back to friends again. I'll give you that.
I agree, but I'm just saying that you could do it both ways. You could do sweet cornbread.
I could see where this can be very controversial because if you put all the crap on top of it, then I'm with you, Davis. Like, I'm coming to your corner on this. Like, yeah, I'm not about that life. No.
See there.
But if you put some pecans on it, and it doesn't go over that line, we got to establish where we have not established. What we have not established is what is the line.
Well,
when does it become a dessert?
That's
kind of like
where
Die Hard is a movie, right?
Die Hard's a great Christmas movie. Die Hard is a
Christmas movie.
Yeah. So see there.
It's the best.
So all right. So I'm going to entertain you. I'm going to step back. I'm going to reflect and maybe that I'm wrong. I'm not wrong, but I'm going to say that I am. How do you prepare it, Shots, that it is a side and not a dessert? Tell me that. Tell me, how does your family and loved ones prepare it where you call it a side?
So you have to, you don't ever actually, I mean, the first step in freshness is don't cut anything up. Don't use anything ground. You can cut everything up fresh.
Okay.
That's step number one. And then it's basically got pecans in it. I don't really know. I'm not going to act like I know exactly what the secret recipe is, but it's outstanding, and it's not overly sweet to the point it's like, oh man, that's going on the dessert table. It doesn't have all the bougie junk to make it a dessert. So no, I'm with you. I am not a huge sweet person. I have become more of a recent. You and I talk about, we're ice cream guys, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
But as far as like, sitting around and trying to make all this ridiculously sweet dessert and make it, part of my, whatever it is, diet or festivities. No, I'm not about that life. No, especially with sweet potato.
So my mom doesn't even make sweet potato casserole. She does something called candied sweet potatoes. It was my great grandma's recipe from years ago. But it does include about 5 pounds of sugar dumped on top of sweet potatoes and cinnamon and a little bit of butter, and you're making just a
nutmeg.
Nutmeg's a good option for cinnamon if you don't have it and all that. But yeah, so it can be, but I'm talking about like a strudel on the top of it, maybe some marshmallows. I mean, I don't mix that with. I'm bad. I don't like mixing sweet with salty and all that, unless it's peanuts and M&Ms or stuff like that.
Yeah, we're actually on the same page on that, but it's fun to fight with you.
Well, see, I was right. You were wrong. See there, folks. It's how it works, man. But so dessert here.
You didn't define.
Well, now it's my fault again. But the best, okay, there's two on the best list. One, sweet potato casserole at number 10. I'm calling it dessert. Shots can do what he wants to. And the best dessert for any type of Thanksgiving is pecan pie. I mean, am I wrong?
Yes.
Yes, pecan pie. It's great.
So going back to that freshness thing.
Okay.
Do not get the chopped up pecans or the ones that are out of the shell. Leave them in the shell, man. I know this lady who makes the best pecan pies, and she will literally, I think she cracks them the morning of the pie. I mean, she is going to wait to the end, and I'm telling you, the freshness is so different. You can go to one of those bougie grocery stores, man, and somebody brought me one from there. I don't go to them. I'm such a bougie person, let me tell you. Anyways, somebody brought me one of those pies.
Lake Carolina.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways,
I've got pecan trees right outside my window right here.
What?
I have a ton of them everywhere. Because I talk about the deer in my yard all the time. They're eating the pecans. They're right out there. My mom will come get them. And then, we can take them to like the co-op, and then they'll crack them for you and do all that stuff.
That's it. You got to wait until it's time to make the pie. But somebody brought me one from, like, I'm not going to say the name of it, some bougie grocery store in Ridgeland. And they brought me a pie. And I'm telling you, you try the one that she makes with the fresh pecans. It is night and day. And it makes you want to take that pie and throw it at the window of the grocery store and let it slide down, man.
Well, I'm going to have to try these fresh pecans, but pecan pie is the best dessert for any type of event, and so that's the board. We fought over sweet potato casserole. I'd love to know what your thoughts are, all the wonderful maniacs out there. Is this a dessert or is it a side dish? I think it's a dessert. Shots thinks it's a side. He did come back to my side. Breck is still confused on green bean casserole, but whatever your favorite dessert is, please let us know. And just during this season of Thanksgiving, we're thankful for you. We're thankful for Enviromasters, all our many sponsors, being able to come on and to talk about and argue over pointless stuff. So that is the whiteboard for this week. Don't know what next week's going to be. Next week's going to be, we're going to be talking about state titles.
We just might have started at the best Christmas movies, right? Because we won't be doing this
Christmas movies
up to Christmas, right? You said Die Hard and everything, right?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Next week,
you're welcome.
Next week's the last show, right? Is that right?
Is this next last show?
Yeah.
Next week is North Half and South Half, right?
Yeah.
Best Christmas movies next week, folks. So tune in next week if you want to hear us fight. Over that.
An announcement on that. We may just everybody stay tuned to the channel. We'll have updates. We may do a live episode on that Friday night. The biggest if is all of our clubs are still playing right now. So especially if some of us have to go on the road, that might be a challenge to do a live episode. But the whole goal is to do a live episode reactionary to North and South State going into the state championship. So we will have to see how that plays out. But anyways, now we'll have one more show, and then we'll have at least one more show traditionally like we do, and then the second show after North and South State would be the one that would be a live show.
Well, I will say this. If you want to talk ball with us, we will be at the Hilton Garden Inn in Starkville for the state title games. Book your rooms there. And we usually sit in the lobby late at night and talking and getting caught up. And if you want to swing by and if you want to bring chicken on the sticks or any type of food to us, we will gladly take it from you. But Hilton Garden Inn.
Bring Brandon Davis. Bring him all the mint chocolate chip ice cream he can have.
Yeah.
And all the green bean casserole. I'm bringing some of that. So bring that. I had a long phone call with Outlaw Bill today. And so we know Bill's going to be there. And Bill will be He'll be on my side for some things, and then he's on his own side for everything else. It's just
He's got to save Bill's out for Bill, man.
that's just him. Well, that does wrap up our fourth quarter episode. But next time you see us, we'll be giving you our picks for this week's ball games. So for our entire crew, Brandon Davis, Jared Schatz, Breck Riley signing off here on the Varsity Voices podcast, presented by C Spire.